The man just wanted to practice his pitching, but he never expected his teammate to catch it so accurately. Russ, once an ace pitcher, now led his team to an impressive 29-game losing streak. The fans couldn't stand it anymore, and the owner had had enough. It was time for a complete overhaul. Just then, a teammate brought news that could change their fate. Their next 5 games had 22-to-1 odds. In other words, if they lost just 5 more games to break the losing record, a $10,000 bet would net them $220,000. Since they were all retiring anyway, why not take the gamble? Russ and his teammates prepared to put on the performance of a lifetime. They executed the first 4 games flawlessly, playing normally with just enough strategic mistakes to easily rack up 4 more losses. With over $3 million within reach, Russ was already fantasizing about his wonderful post-retirement life. But just before the final game, the coach suddenly announced that a rookie named Philip would replace Russ. The pitcher position was crucial to determining the game's outcome. They absolutely had to lose this game. Even a tie was unacceptable. Teammate Carl came up with a plan to slip hallucinogens into the rookie's chewing gum. Once Philip's pitching became too erratic, the coach would naturally put Russ back in. The plan worked perfectly. Philip couldn't even see his own fingers clearly. But who could have predicted that this guy would hallucinate himself as the king of baseball and strike out the opposing batters? The game was heading toward a tie when the catcher couldn't take it anymore and betrayed his own team. Through a clever play, he let the base runner score, giving the opponents a 1-run lead. The game lost all suspense as the team achieved their 34th consecutive loss, and the conspirators successfully pocketed a huge sum of money. But Carl forgot to replace the chewing gum in Philip's pocket during the celebration. Even worse, another teammate had prematurely calculated their winnings distribution in a notebook and got the math wrong. Philip discovered the notebook, and connecting it to his bizarre performance, he instantly understood everything. But Philip didn't choose to call the police. Instead, he demanded $3 million in hush money. Russ naturally refused, but Philip gave him no room to negotiate. Either $3 million or he'd hand the evidence over to the police. At the same time, Philip mocked Russ. "You call yourself an ace pitcher? Your fastball can't even reach 62 miles per hour. No wonder the team has 34 straight losses." Russ's temper exploded instantly. In his rage, he rediscovered his former self, his pitch speed returning to peak condition. A baseball flew directly at Philip's skull, killing him on the spot. Russ quickly cleaned up the scene, taking away the chewing gum and notebook. He thought he'd covered everything perfectly, but an intern ball boy spotted the flaw. Charlie had just started working there, and on the night of the incident, he'd asked Philip for a piece of gum, which caused him to hallucinate that he was a savior. According to the autopsy, Philip died from a baseball traveling over 62 miles per hour. But recently, several players had suddenly become flush with cash, getting gold teeth or wearing expensive furs. Among the players, only Russ had the ability to throw such a fastball. The truth was obvious. The two began their confrontation, but Russ remained calm. Don't make wild accusations without evidence. Charlie played psychological warfare, telling Russ that Major League scouts would be watching today's game. If he could showcase his skills, he might get back on the field. Though it sounded far-fetched, as a once glorious pitcher, Russ still harbored dreams of returning to the game. When he spotted someone who looked like a scout in the stands, he was tempted. With Charlie's encouragement, Russ displayed his peak performance. But this was actually a trap set by Charlie working with the police, all to find the real killer who could throw a 62-mile-per-hour fastball.